All right, so I came across a post that created quite a bit of discourse, and I asked you guys about it as well. And I just wanna briefly talk about it and give you my thoughts and see what you think about it.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so diving straight here, okay? This made some rounds. People had something to say about this. So 2K25 released their ratings from players 11 to 20. Well, I mean top 20, that is. And you can see here that this person and quite a few other people under this post as well talked about this. And he said, "What did Wemby do to pass Ja Morant? Nobody is taking him over Ja." And obviously he's just trying to get clicks, right? I think that's a little bit of a bait right there. That's a little bit of a bait to get some engagement. I don't think he actually, man, that's some strong language. What did he do to deserve it? Nobody's taking Ja. Everyone would take Wemby over Ja. But the question I have is Wemby currently better than Ja Morant? In some of the comments here, people were, pretty antagonistic. Like right here, it says, "I like Ja, but I'm taking Wemby, and it's not even close." That's 16,000 people liked that post. We scroll down here. "Bro can't stay on the court. And 2, if you're starting a franchise and take Ja over Wemby, you should be fired." Another one says, "Literally everyone taking him over Ja, but Grizz fans, defense exists too. He's already 100 or 1,000 times better defensive player, and based on what he was doing in the second half of last season, he's barely, if at all, behind as an offensive player. Without even factoring age into the equation, I'm taking Wemby." So I think everyone will take Wemby, obviously for the future purposes. But right now, that's it. I'm trying my best not to be disrespectful here to Ja Morant, because people kind of forget how good Ja actually is, right? This past season, he only played 9 games. And yeah, I mean, decent averages, but not that great. 27.5 3-point percentage and 25 points, but he was really rusty. Only 9 games, right? Prior to that, you had 26 points per game, 46% from the field, 30.7 3-point percentage. So not the best 3-point percentage by any stretch of the imagination, but he also had 8 assists. He's a phenomenal offensive player. I mean, just dynamic. In the year prior to that, and I think that this has basically been his peak at this point, nearly 50%, 49%, I won't say nearly 50, 49% field goal percentage, 34% 3-point percentage on 27.4 points. And I tried to find something that could bring up all of the comparisons. Unfortunately, this is a great website, Crafted NBA, but unfortunately they only showed the last season. So this is a small sample size from Ja Morant versus Victor Wembanyama. So we can see here that they're kind of head to head on a lot of these, right? When things start to change is when we see passer ratings, in which Wemby passer rating was much lower this past season. Deflections insane. So you can see that Wemby is in the 93 percentile there. And then you got rim frequency, both of which very high. Rim defense obviously would be very high for Wemby. Blocks very high for Wemby. Versatility, which it says a measure of how versatile a player is defensively on a scale of 0 to 100. Inspired by the version made by Krishna Narsu, which is hosted at B-Ball Index. So as far as versatility defensively, strangely enough, Wemby was actually lower than Ja Morant when it comes to versatility. And they just have some of the stats, basic stats here. We know what Wemby averaged and whatnot. 21 points per game. 4 assists, 1.2 steals. I thought it was more here for Ja. Was that the year before for steals? Oh, it was the year before. Okay. Yeah. So, just a little bit in comparison. Now, let me go ahead and look at the post here in which I asked you guys. And I try to phrase it in a way where it's like I'm just talking about right now. So, is Wemby currently better than Ja Morant? And you can leave your comments underneath this video as well, and I'll take a look. I was hoping that no one would be biased, but you know what? I think even without the bias aside, I think most of us would probably give Wemby the nod. I just don't want Morant to get like a lot of disrespect, because that dude is really good. But Todd Parker here says, by a mile, you can argue he's better than most of the league because of both ends. Someone says he way better than him. Whew, okay. He led his country to a silver medal against USA. What type of success has Ja seen so far? Well, John Morant, has some success in the playoffs, right? He did his thing in the playoffs, right? At his peak, he did his thing. Should have made Kawhi at 89. What was Kawhi on this? Oh, they got Kawhi Leonard over Wemby slightly. Okay. I'm actually surprised Kyrie Irving is. I know he had a good season. I'm just a little shocked that he's a 92. Jaylen Brown too, getting the 92 nod. I agree with Edwards, Booker, Brunson, Donovan Mitchell being better than Wemby. That's a tough one. Let's see. Did Ja even play last season? I didn't see many highlights if he did. Only played 8 or 9 games. You're comparing a point guard to a center. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. People compare others to others, right? I mean, people say Michael Jordan is the greatest ever, and they don't put him in a separate category since he was a shooting guard. I mean, they just say, no, he was better than, Tim Duncan or Magic Johnson, even though they were in different positions there. We'll read a couple more. Morant hasn't played in like a year and a half, so he should be lower. But if we stack Morant's accolades against Wemby's, then Morant is better. Well, he had quite a few years over him, but we don't know how good he'll be when he returns. But yeah. And then Death Star Stallion says, no, everyone needs to chill. He'll probably be the unanimous best player in the world by 2027, but right now there's definitely a good bit of guys better than him. And some of the comments under that says, Mog here says, exactly, I like Wemby, but he's not even close to the best right now. And then someone said, this is not your average, says finally someone who's realistic. Yeah, see, how I feel is I do believe that Wemby, all things considered, in his bag, he's better than Ja Morant. And I think slightly, right? And it really does come down to him being one of the greatest defensive specimens we've ever seen in our lifetime, right? Offensively, I don't even think he's touching Ja Morant, okay? I'll say that. I don't even think he's touching Ja Morant right now. But defensively, I think that it's just so great and it's so generational till it's really hard to do that. I wouldn't say that Ja Morant is a generational talent, but right now, I do think Wemby is better only because of the defense. But I do agree with the sentiment here from Death Star Stallion that, let's not start disrespecting Ja. It's one of those things where you don't see him long enough and then you start to forget how good he actually is. But hey, it's incredible that Wemby is going into his second season and the league thinks this highly of him already and saying that he is a top 20 player. I think the other top 100 player list that we saw had him listed at 18 as well. That had nothing to do with 2K. I think he was around 18. When I was actually looking at it, I gave Wemby top 10. I think Wemby is in the top 10 as far as best players in the NBA. That's just me. Especially by the end of this next season, he'll definitely be a top 10, possibly top 5. But that's really pushing it. I think top 10 is a safety cushion there. But yeah, just wanted to share this with you. I'm really excited for this upcoming season, so just thought I'll get your thoughts on it. But anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. Until next time, bye.